Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 of the college football season. My name is Mike Browning. I'm the host of the College Football Road Trip at CFBRoadtrip.com. What a fun week 1 of games we had. I finished 7-3 in week 1. I did whiff on the Colorado game, so props to them for the big win over TCU. I will take some props for picking Fresno State over Purdue, though, so win some and lose some. Win some you're not supposed to win, lose some you're not supposed to lose. But that's just how the college football season goes, and that's what makes it fun. I will be on the road this week. I'll be traveling to Pittsburgh tomorrow in order to go to the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game this weekend. We'll get to that pick at the end of this week's picks. In the meantime, let's go into our week 2 picks. Our first game is a Pac-12 SEC matchup. We have Arizona traveling to Mississippi State. Both of these teams did pull off a win in their week 1. Obviously, every team in the Pac-12 won in the week 1 games, which is pretty impressive. Mississippi State is a team that, after Coach Leach passed away, I think is going to struggle, continue to struggle a little bit and come down from the heights that they were a year or two ago. Arizona is a team that still isn't a great team. Will probably be in the lower half of the Pac-12, but the Pac-12 is such an impressive conference this year, that I think that Arizona is going to be able to pull off this win. So I have Arizona winning on the road at Mississippi State. Our next matchup is a Big 12 Pac-12 matchup that, as of next year, will be a Big 12 conference game. We have Oklahoma State traveling to Arizona State. So Oklahoma State is a team that is looking to probably be down a little bit in the Big 12, probably in the middle of the road for them, which is a slight decrease from where they've been in the past years. But Arizona State is a team that's really struggling. They put a self-imposed bowl ban on for this year. So because of that, I think Arizona State's going to struggle in this one, even being the home team. So Oklahoma State, I think, will go to 2-0 after this week. I have Oklahoma State winning on the road at Arizona State. Our next matchup is the Cy-Hawk matchup, which is coming from the state of Iowa. We have Iowa traveling to Iowa State. Iowa is a team that struggled a little bit. They were ranked 25th, but even with their win, they dropped out of the top 25 this week. Iowa State did pull off a win last week as well. But Iowa State is a team that's going to struggle a little bit this season. I don't think they're going to be able to get to the upper echelons of the Big 12. And I think Iowa, although they're continuing to struggle offensively, I think we'll be able to have enough this week to pull off the win against their in-state rivals. I have Iowa winning on the road at Iowa State. Next, let's go to an intriguing matchup. We have Texas A&M, 23rd ranked, traveling to Miami in Florida. This is a very impressive game. Last year, I think it's going to be a very tight matchup again this year. The question is still around Texas A&M. I mean, they had a victory last week, but it wasn't a very impressive win over a very impressive team. Miami did have a blowout over Miami of Ohio. The question is, which team is for real? I think Miami started putting things together a little bit at the end of last season, but Texas A&M still has a lot to play for this season. They want to show that last year's struggles was not a fluke. In order to do that, they need to win this game, and I think they will. I have Texas A&M winning on the road at Miami. For our next matchup, we have a Big 10 Pac-12 matchup. We have 19th ranked Wisconsin traveling to Washington State. Washington State, of course, is one of the teams that is kind of on the outside as far as all of the conference realignment that's going on at the end of this year. They'll probably end up in the Mountain West. At least that's where things are looking. Wisconsin is a team that's kind of going to be under the radar unless they can start putting some very impressive wins together with all the other strong Big Ten teams that are going on. But Wisconsin just has a much better team. I think Washington State's going to struggle for a lot of the season to end up on the bottom half of the Pac-12. And so in this one, I have to pick the road team yet again. I have 19th ranked Wisconsin winning on the road at Washington State. Next, we're going to go to the state of North Carolina. We have Appalachian State traveling to 17th ranked North Carolina. North Carolina probably had one of the more impressive wins last week over South Carolina. That was one of the games that I had wrong. I thought South Carolina would be able to put some things together from how impressive they looked at the end of last year against Tennessee and Clemson, but North Carolina just came out and they kind of dominated that win over South Carolina. So they have a lot of momentum on their side. Appalachian State is a team that usually gives Power 5 teams a tough matchup, usually in the beginning of the year. They obviously have the big win over Texas A&M last year, but I think North Carolina just has a little bit too much momentum on their side this time around. I have North Carolina winning at home over Appalachian State. Staying in the state of North Carolina now, we have 10th ranked Notre Dame traveling to NC State, and a game that I think will be a very close matchup. I think this is going to be one that's going to go into the fourth quarter and might be one of those games that goes down to the last possession. Notre Dame obviously had a very strong win in Dublin over Navy, but Navy isn't a very good team this year. NC State is a team that's kind of a little bit under the radar, I think, in the ACC. Some people have them as kind of a sleeper pick, but going into this matchup, Notre Dame just has all the momentum on their side. They really put things together at the end of last year, and again, their dominance in week one just kind of has me on the bandwagon, at least for now, so I'm going to have to pick them in this one. I have number 10 Notre Dame winning at NC State. Next, let's go to our first of two ranked against ranked matchups. We have 20th ranked Ole Miss traveling to 24th ranked Tulane. Tulane obviously had an amazing year last year. They had the big win over USC in their bowl game. Ole Miss is a team that is usually pretty competitive in the SEC, but probably still won't be able to make it to the SEC championship game. The question is, will Tulane be able to continue the momentum they had last year into this year? Ole Miss has a lot to play for. They want to show that they deserve to be in the upper echelons in the SEC. In order to do that, they have to win this game on the road, and I think they will be able to do it. I have 20th ranked Ole Miss winning on the road at 24th ranked Tulane. Next, let's go to probably the biggest matchup of the weekend. We have 11th ranked Texas traveling to 3rd ranked Alabama. We all know that this was an amazing game last season in Austin when Alabama pulled off the 20-19 win. The question is, what is going to happen this time around? Is Texas really back this year? Is Alabama going to be able to continue to win games in the SEC and continue to be in the SEC championship game, or at least get back to it this year? I'll be honest, I'm not totally sold on Texas yet, but I do think that they have a lot to play for in this game. I don't think Alabama's quite as strong as they've been in the past few seasons, not even making it into the SEC championship or the playoffs last year. I think Texas is going to be able to go into Tuscaloosa and pull off an upset in this one. I have them with the win. I have 11th ranked Texas winning on the road at 3rd ranked Alabama. So now let's go to the game that I'm going to be at this weekend. We have Cincinnati traveling to Pittsburgh. I'm excited to be able to be back on the road. We know that the Pittsburgh Panthers play in the same stadium as the Pittsburgh Steelers, so it'll be fun to be in an NFL stadium for this game. First time for me to be in an NFL stadium, probably since OU's game against BYU at AT&T Stadium when that stadium first opened. So it should be a really good stadium to watch a game in. It should be a really fun matchup. I think Cincinnati's a pretty decent team. Pittsburgh's going to be trying to play for the upper echelons of the ACC. I think that Pittsburgh being the home team in this one is going to give them the momentum. I have Pittsburgh winning at home over Cincinnati in my first road trip of the year. So again, I'm really excited to be back on the road. I'm excited to be able to write about everything I'm going to be doing in Pittsburgh. I'll be obviously having some social media posts on Instagram and Facebook about the things that I'm doing while I'm in Pittsburgh as I get ready for my end of travel blog that will be coming in the next couple weeks. In week 3, we'll continue to be on the road. We'll be in West Virginia for the Pittsburgh, West Virginia Backyard Brawl game, which will be another great matchup. So in the meantime, go enjoy the week 2 games, everyone, and we'll talk to you again next week.